All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's on every business leader's mind: generative AI in marketing. Now, look, everyone is scrambling to use it, but here's the thing: most are getting it wrong. We're going to break down the massive difference between using AI for real strategic growth and just creating a whole lot of chaos.
I mean, on the surface, this technology is everything a marketer could ever dream of, right? You've got the power to create content in a snap, personalize customer experiences at a scale we've never seen before, and analyze data in ways that were, honestly, pure science fiction just a few years ago. It's this incredible promise that has every C-suite and marketing VP scrambling to jump on board.
But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. That shiny promise, it's often miles away from the reality on the ground. You see, without a real plan, the dream of instant content quickly turns into a nightmare of inconsistent brand messaging, performance that just goes flat, and a team that is completely and utterly overwhelmed. And that gets us right to the heart of the problem. Generative AI is a classic double-edged sword. If you use it with skill and precision, it's an incredibly powerful tool for growth. But if you just kind of throw it at your team without any guidance, well, you're not going to get clarity, you're going to get chaos. And this quote from our source material just nails it. This completely reframes the whole issue. It's not a tech problem, it's a leadership gap. The tools aren't the problem, it's the lack of a smart strategy for how to use them. You can't just buy more software to fix this. It really requires a different way of thinking from the top down. So what does this AI-fueled chaos actually look like? Well, it's when different teams start playing with different AI tools, all in their own little bubbles. You've got the social media team using one thing, the content team using another, and pretty soon your brand voice is all over the place. The customer journey feels totally disjointed, and all that efficiency you were promised, poof, it never happens. This strategic gap, it really hurts in three main areas. We're going to dig into exactly where this unguided AI approach causes the most pain: your content, your data, and your automation. So let's start with content. And you should really ask yourself this question. I mean, sure, you can now churn out 100 blog posts in an hour, but if they don't actually connect with your audience or sound like your brand, are you creating valuable assets, or are you just contributing to all the noise online? The problem so many companies have is they've turned on this fire hose of generic, pretty bland content. And what happens? Performance flatlines, and the brand's unique voice just gets lost. The strategic fix isn't to stop using AI. It's to create a unified content strategy where AI assists human creativity. It's that human oversight that turns the raw AI output into something that actually resonates with people and drives your business forward. Okay, number two, let's talk about data. AI can sift through mountains of customer information. It's incredible. But are you actually using those insights to make things better for your customers? Or are you just collecting data, letting it pile up in different disconnected systems? Without a strategy, all that customer data just sits there in silos. And your personalization efforts feel really shallow, kind of like just plugging someone's first name into a generic email and calling it a day. A strategic approach, on the other hand, brings all those data sources together. It uses AI to do smart, real-time segmentation so you can deliver campaigns that feel genuinely personal and relevant. And finally, let's hit on automation. The whole point is to scale your marketing efficiently, right? But if all your different automated systems aren't talking to each other, are you really scaling anything, or are you just accidentally building a bunch of disconnected automated silos? The problem here is pretty obvious. When workflows are inconsistent, valuable leads just fall through the cracks. The fix isn't to just buy another tool. It's about orchestration. It's about mapping out that entire customer journey and making sure all your automated systems work together like a well-oiled machine, all the way from lead capture to customer retention. So, we've laid out all these problems: the messy content, the siloed data, the broken automation. What's the fix? Well, it's not another piece of software. It's a specific kind of strategic leadership that acts like a bridge, connecting all the potential of AI technology to real, measurable business results. And this is where this idea of a fractional CMO comes into play. Just think of it as high-level strategic marketing leadership, but on demand. It's an experienced executive who can come in without that hefty full-time salary to build the strategy and implement the systems your team needs to use tools like AI to actually grow the business. So how do they do it? It really boils down to a three-step process. First, you audit. You have to take stock of all the AI tools you're already using and get rid of what's not working. Second, you build.
You create clear frameworks for how AI should be used for everything from content creation to customer engagement. And finally, you ensure. You put guardrails in place to protect your brand's voice and make sure the customer experience is always top-notch. That's how you turn random acts of AI into a disciplined, effective system. And when you do all that, it really comes down to this simple truth. With the right leadership and oversight, AI stops being this shiny, distracting object and becomes what it was always supposed to be, a serious growth multiplier for your business. Okay, so let's get really practical for a second. How do you know if your company is at that point, the point where you actually need this kind of strategic leadership? Well, we've put together a simple checklist to help you figure that out. So just take a moment and really think about your own team and what's happening in your marketing department. Does all this chaos we've been talking about feel a little too familiar? Is it maybe time to bring in a leader who can build that bridge from all this tech potential to actual business performance? Here are 5 big red flags. First, your team is trying out a bunch of different AI tools, but nobody's really on the same page. Second, you're making a ton of content, but your metrics are totally flat. Third, your attempts at personalization feel disjointed to your customers. Fourth, you're drowning in marketing tools, but you're starved for any real insight. And number 5, leadership wants to use AI, but they're so worried about the brand risk that nothing really gets done. If any of that sounds like you don't have a tech problem. You have a leadership gap. And so that leaves us with one last really crucial question. It's the one every single business leader needs to be asking right now. When you look at your marketing, is generative AI just another shiny tool that your team is experimenting with? Or is it a deeply embedded part of a clear, powerful growth strategy? Because the difference between those two answers, well, that's everything.